Hey guys, my name is Tina. Oh, I'm so joyful today. My name is Tina. I love to talk about books, and today I wanted to do my July wrap up. And I've read so much, I can't believe it. Even though I worked part-time job, I had so much time to read. I don't understand how I did it, but I did it. And without further ado, let's jump into it. The first book is an Emily Henry book because I really wanted to get into some romance book, and I really loved Beach Read last summer because it really moved me in some kind of way. I don't know, it's the topic, obviously, kind of you have to enjoy life and stop being just grumpy all the time, and it really talked to me. And this one only gave it 4 stars because it is about Nora, who is a literary agent in New York. So she's a city person, always wearing heels and nice outfits. And her sister wants her so badly to go small town to just bond together more because they kind of feel like they lost something between them. And in the small town they meet with Henry, I think it's his name, Henry, who is also working in the book industry, and it's her rival. And not saying too much, but I think you get the point and where it's going. But I don't know, I feel like two city person is not my cup of tea, but I really enjoy it. That's why it's 4 stars only and not the 5 stars, because it's just not a favorite. But I think I just kind of was disappointed by it because I waited too much from it, because it was talking about book lovers and I don't know, and small towns, and it just wasn't a favorite, but really recommend it still because I had a lot of fun with it. I love the humor. Once again, I love the humor Emily Henry is using all the time. So yes, that's a yes for me. Next, I don't have it with me, but I've read Convenience Store Woman, and this one I gave it 5 stars because it was so short but told so much to us. I love the fact that it was talking about a convenience store woman who is 30, if I remember well, and she doesn't really have ambition and she doesn't really know how to behave socially, and everyone around her sister particularly, is waiting so much from her, so much more, because it's the way it is in Japan especially. Like, you need to be more ambitious, and her friends, especially her friends, are always waiting for her to be with someone, to have a partner and to marry and to have children. And she's just like, no, it doesn't suit me. I'd rather keep working at a convenience store because that's where I belong, that's where I fit, that's where I feel good. I just love the message it transmits. It really moved me and it was really well written. So yes, 5 stars for me. Moreover, I'm really interested in Japanese culture, so if you're interested too, I recommend this book. Plus it's short. It reads really fast. That's why I read so much book. I think it's because this one I read so fast, maybe in a day or 2. Next, I finished. Obviously, I didn't start this book this month. I started it end of May. I finished War and Peace by Tolstoy. And boy, I'm still not recovering from it in a neutral way. I wasn't flabbergasted by it, and I wasn't also hating it. But do I think spending time to read all those pages are worth it? Still trying to figure this out. It is really well written, and although I think this is not the best translation because sometimes it's, I think, cut out on some parts, I don't know, it feels weird. I think like some quotes I don't find them here in this version, so I'm a bit disappointed. So I'm giving it a doubt. I think it's not him, it's me. It's not maybe even me, it's maybe even the translator, I don't know. So that's why I'm not sure about it. It is set in the beginning of the 19th century in 1805, and this is about several characters from the rich circle of Moscow and Petersburg, and this is how they are evolving. This is about how they are evolving during the war against Napoleon, and this is about political point of view, youth wanting to engage in war because they are ambitious and because they don't have a clue on how it's going. And this is about character evolving along with it, and how they are creating bond and relations between them to evolve for the career, for their social relations. It is about religion a lot. It is about the Freemasons. Also, I didn't expect that, and it is so long sometimes. I don't think it needs to be that long to transmit the message it wants to be transmitted. It wants to transmit. I love how sometimes Tolstoy also includes philosophical, morally writing about how the war doesn't depend on the characters' wills, but more of the circumstances, that even if the characters, that it doesn't depend on the decisions, but rather on the events happening around. Even though I'm not really agreeing with him, it felt very interesting to read about that period of history. So I'm not regretting this, obviously. It's a good book. But would I recommend it? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think that overall, if you want to get into Russian literature, and especially into Tolstoy's books, I preferred War and Peace over Anna Karenina. But I'm waiting to read just about Dostoevsky to see if I like his way of writing better, because Tolstoy, even though I really appreciate his art, his writing, it's just not for me. I love it for the way it is depicting war and how all of the war stuff is absurd. That's why I love this book, and it's really moving to see how the characters are evolving around it, how it is destroying them or not. But so long. So long. That's why I gave it 4 stars, which is a high rate. Not a favorite, okay? I wouldn't reread it, I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, I wouldn't claim on all the roofs that I've read it. I'll still do that. I'm lying. But yeah, still figuring it out. I forgot to tell you that episode 2 of Reading War and Peace will be out next week. Next I don't know how to speak today. Next, I've read Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, and I gave it 5 stars because, I don't know, it just made me question myself on so many topics, philosophically, morally. Even though it is not a story that is just wow, I did not have plot twists, like oh my god, I wasn't expecting it at all. I don't know, but it felt right to read this, and at the end I was still like, wow, that was beautiful, because it is beautifully written and easy to read. So yes, loved it. Next, I've read Small Things Like This by Claire Keegan. It is a short book, like 120 pages, not even 112 pages, 10. And it is set in Ireland during the late 90s, I think. I have to check that. And this is about Bill Fallon. He's having a very simple life as a coal merchant. He has a wife, he's married, he has 5 daughters. They are doing really, really well in their lives. And he just wants to take care of his family. He doesn't really know father. he never met him, he doesn't know who he is, and his mother died when he was young because she got sick, and he was taken care of by the woman his mother served, and he thinks he did pretty well in his life, but he's confronted to something when he's delivering coal in a kind of church laundry thing, and some things are happening there, and he's questioning his past also and what he needs to do in the present. And this is really interesting. It talks about a topic I didn't really know, the Magdalene's laundries in Ireland. This one felt kind of too short for me, that's why I only gave it 4 stars. It was really interesting to read. I loved the writing, even though sometimes I felt very far from the character. I felt like attached, even though to him, but I think it would have maybe needed a bit more, at least for me. That's why it's just not a favorite. I think it would need more for me to get more attached to the story and to get more depth. Yes. Next, the last book I've read this month is for a readathon, a spooky readathon for the summer read, and it is Bunny by Mona Ward, and I was so eager to read this book. I couldn't wait because I've heard so many things. You rather love it or you rather hate it, and I loved it. I give it 5 stars. A book about unhinged woman characters in a dark academia setting. I loved it. It is about Samantha, who is going to university and she is attending workshops to write, and she's with 4 other women and they're very close with each other. She's an outsider and they are very close. They call themselves bunnies and they're always like, oh Bunny, I love you, oh no, me, I love you, no, I can't wait, I missed you so much. And she's always like, ugh, they made me vomit. But she has a friend also whose name is Ava, so she's not a complete outsider. She has a friend and they together always critique them, they're always looking down to them. But one day she gets an invite to their cycle and everything escalates from that. I loved especially the way of writing of Mona Words in the sarcastic dark humor kind of way, and sometimes made my stomach like just ooh, okay, this is raw. And I loved how the characters are evolving, how they are depicted, and the just ambience of everything. Loved it, just loved it. Not saying too much about it, you just have to get into it. Gave it 5 stars. Just a favorite. It's a favorite now. It's part of me and I can't stop thinking about it. Okay, for graphic novels and manga, I finished a graphic novel I've begun a long time ago, and it's a French one which is translated in Italian, so I'm not talking about it too much, but it is At the End They Die. It is a graphic novel about exploring the origins of the fairy tales and the folklore of European and international fairy tales, and you see that they are way darker than the Disney ones we know. So for my French fellows, really recommend this one. I gave it 5 stars. Loved it, and also it's beautiful. And just want to show you the drawings real quick. They're great, and the humor, it's everything. It was everything. Next, I've read volume 14 of Yona, and I loved this one also. I give it 5 stars because we are introduced to new characters, new intrigues. Yona is always such a badass. She's evolving and I love the way she's evolving. So yes, loved it. Next, I've read, and I don't have it with me now, it is volume 4 of 20th Century Boy, and loved also this one. I love where it's going, where it's evolving, the way he knows how to jump between the different timelines. You just want to just create more tensions and make you want to know more. It's fabulous. I love it. I just love it. Next, I've read volume 6 of Banana Fish, and it's still as good. Still as good. I love this one. Ash is just doing some impossible things. He's doing what every man can do. He's a genius. He's such a genius, and his relations with other characters are evolving. I don't want to say too much, and I love the way it is evolving, and I just want to know more. So many people are telling me I'm gonna cry, that my hair are gonna be ripped off, and I'm so afraid to know more, but I really want to know more. So yes, that's a wrap, guys. I've read so many books. I can't believe it. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have so many more books on your TBR to read now. And I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching till the end. Bye!